They panic when you come around. They panic. They genuinely cannot believe that you showed up again. And for environments you go into where you're new to the environment, people start panicking and checking themselves because you're attractive, you're bright, you're very valuable, you're invaluable. Your aura is fresh. You look good. Even if you are slept in your clothes for 5 nights, I'm just throwing that out there. Even if you haven't showered in 3 months, your aura is bright. You look good. You show up in a beat up car or a nice car. It doesn't matter. You show up alone. Right? People panic. Doesn't matter how you shake it. People panic. And they're panicking because they weren't ready for you. They weren't ready for this. Have you heard that there's an old audio clip from a long time ago. You know how rappers, I used to listen to rap, they put these little audio clips in front of their music, and one of them, I think it was I forget the rapper, either was I Am Sue or Tazy. It was I Am Sue, Tazy, or I forgot the other one. Maybe it was Future. Probably Future. I don't know. But there was this audio clip that says, "You want some of this?" And then the music starts, right? It was like the drums start, doom, 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 doom. You want some of this? Right? And that's I don't know why I'm getting this energy this morning, but that's what I'm getting here. Let me fix the camera. Hold on. Oh man. All right, there we go. So that's what I'm getting. Okay, that's what I'm getting is that people, you walk in the room and your energy is saying, "You want some of this? You want some of this?" And people, they're like, "Oh boy, we're either gonna try and tear this person down, or we're gonna actually, be genuine people, or be, what's the word? Genuine people, and not try any of these messed up games." Unfortunately, people usually choose the latter. They don't choose to be genuine. They don't choose to actually respect you and honor you. Okay, whether you're a man or woman, both are very, very important. Okay, for your development and your well-being. Okay, and people don't understand this because we live in a world where everybody is so dependent on each other. They're codependent. They're stuck in trauma loops with narcissists. They're codependent. They're weak mentally, spiritually, maybe even physically. Maybe they lack discipline. I don't know. I don't really know people's private lives, of course, but so you show up, they start panicking because things got very real. The energy shifted in the room, the winds changed the second you walked in. Okay? The winds changed. The weather just changed. It got from cloudy and gloomy to sunny. The energy went from low vibrational and dull to high vibrational and ambient. And now that you walked in, people got to either rise to your level, or they're gonna do some stupid stuff to you, play these stupid games to where it's so bad that you have to leave. Whether it's a store, a cafe, a restaurant, a gym, anywhere really, a post office. I can't tell you how many times I've gone into a post office and the energy is really bad in there. I don't know why, but the people behind the counter, I remember I had to buy a couple stamps to send some stuff out, and the people behind the counter were, the gentleman that helped me was he was having a bad day probably. He was really I don't know, he was really rude to me, alright, which is fine. I get that a lot, but that's what I'm saying is these environments, right? I just bought the stamps and got out. That's what I was in there for. Get in, get out. That's what you have to do these days. You have to be very careful. Get in, get out. Right? Grab your items, get out. Buy the stamp or buy the envelope, get out. Run into the convenience store and grab your little bottled water and your gum, or your protein shake or whatever, and get out. You know, gas station, pull up, put your car in park, pump the gas, get in your car and leave. Maybe clean the windshield or something. Like, don't lollygag around. Don't sit in there on your phone. You know, you can't be, because people will start coming up to you, or they'll start coming up to you, or if you linger around and check your oil, for example, you're gonna have 5 people walk up and ask you what's wrong with your vehicle. Like, when you're clearly checking the oil, like your oil can is right there, your oil bottle is right there. Everybody knows, you know? So it's like, you gotta get in, get out, because people will find any reason and excuse to approach you, and it's not in the good way. Like, for example, now it could be my fault. Like, maybe there's something about me where I'm not approachable, but I'm not approachable in the way I want to be approached. But however, having said that, people that approach me, it's usually over some stupid stuff, or approaching me to just cause trouble, right? There's an old saying that goes, people equal problems, right? It's an equation or something, like P equals P or something like that. People equal problems. So, disingenuous people, deceptive people equal problems. Monitoring spirits that live in people, they equal problems. That's what I've found. And you've found the same thing out yourself. You've dealt with this too. You've been through this before. You're the get in, get out type of girl. You're the get in, get out type of guy. Because you've learned your lesson. And here's the thing. It's not that you're closed off to people approaching you. It's that when somebody approaches you, all your walls go up. All the alarms in your head turn on, because you don't know where this is going to go, because you've been down every avenue with people that most of the time it doesn't end well. So if somebody new approaches you, you're like, okay, is this going to be a good experience, or is it going to be something that's going to leave me triggered and stressed the second the second experience is over, or worse yet, during the experience, right? During the conversation, during the interaction, or altercation in some cases, right? Ever had someone come up to you and just start going off on you for something, right? That alone can trigger a lot of people. There's a lot of people out there who are healing from trauma, and you have somebody come up to you and start going off on you, verbally. That can ruin your day. Okay? If it happens to me now, it won't ruin my day, but I'm saying that at one point in time, absolutely it would ruin my day. Like, that's how unhealed I was, from personal experience here. That's how unhealed I was. And people don't care. They're just trying to get what they want, or they're just trying to say what they want. If they're angry about something, they're going to tell you. They don't care. If they want something, they're going to tell you. They don't care. They're not putting themselves in your shoes anymore, even though you put yourself in their shoes. You know what I'm saying? So they panic when you come around. People genuinely are in a panic. They're in a flurry. I work at McDonald's, and we have the Oreo McFlurry and the McFlurry stuff, okay? Every time I hear somebody order a McFlurry, I think about people going in a flurry, right? I mean, they pretty much run around out here in a hurry, right? In a hurry to nowhere, okay? And pretty much just running over everybody who gets in their way, figuratively speaking. And so whenever I hear somebody order an Oreo McFlurry or M&M McFlurry, I'm like, oh, flurry, like in a hurry, And yeah, so they can't handle themselves when you come around, because you put them in a state of panic, because they're not ready for someone like you. Like, let me tell you something. You won't believe how many times I've been into like a cafe or a coffee shop, right? And the cashiers behind the counter will be like I'm like they'll kind of interact with me in such a way where I kind of feel like I'm a criminal, or like I'm fresh out of prison or something. But then I walk away, right? I order my stuff, walk away. I overhear how they interact with the next person, the next customer. Completely different. They're like super bubbly, talkative, if it's a guy, because I know a lot of guys work at cafes and coffee shops now because of the job. the work thing that's going on where, you know, a lot of fast food and minimum wage places are hiring now, as I found out. And I've seen a lot of guys working in cafes and coffee shops, okay, over the, you know, the past year and a half. And if it's a guy, same thing. They'll be like, I don't know, I'll feel like I'm ordering from a security guard. And then I'll walk away. That's fine. That's cool. I walk away. And then I hear him with the next customer, you know. Hey, man, what's going on? Hey, did you hear about that? Yeah. Hey, well, tell me about this thing right here. You know, oh, you know, it's so good to see you. And then I overhear everything. And yes, it's planned out. Yes, it's kind of disingenuous because they're all reading a script. Everybody's faking. They're not being genuine. That's not what they want to say. You know, the other person doesn't care. The cashier doesn't care. They're just going through the motions, trying to sound good, look good, feel good, appear good. But then when I come around, it's like their mask falls off and they're like, you know, who's this guy? Who is he? Who is he again? Who let him in? You know what I'm saying? And if that's who they really are behind the mask, you know what I'm saying? Then that proves my point. That proves my point. Chosen ones, that you're so chosen that people, their mask just has to slip off. Like, their mask won't even stay on anymore when you come around. It won't, because you're not playing their game. You're not going to be like, you know, oh, hi, you know, so good to see you, da-da-da-da. Hey, tell me about this, da-da-da. Like, you already know. If you want to know something about a product, you already know about it. If you walk into a room and you see somebody, you can read their spirit in 5 seconds. You already know how they're doing. You know what they're thinking. You know how their day is going based on their body language and their intuition and your mind reading. You guys can pretty much read minds out here. Wow, you know, that's amazing. And so you don't need to do all these filler shit like the how are you, so good to see you, yeah, you know, yeah, I know, right, like all this banter and stuff. It's unnecessary because you don't care. You already know, you know. You'd rather use that time to just be quiet and live in the moment and be peaceful and just, you know, be quiet and, you know, just exist, I guess, right? To see how things play out, to read people's spirits, you know, and also to protect yourself from bad energy. A lot of people, these normal people, give off really bad energy and they try to put it on you. You know what I'm saying? And so you go up to people and you already know what they're thinking. You know how they're doing. You know what you want. You know everything about everything. You know. Yeah, and it's different. Like you if you're accompanying somebody somewhere, you're going somewhere with somebody, and that you guys go into a restaurant or you go into a retail store or you go into anywhere public. That's why I keep talking about stores and cafes here, because and libraries, because these are all public places. And public places is where people are, and people, that's where all the bad spirits are. So to continue, I've been to like a cafe with people or a place of business with people, and I see how they interact with people. And the people that I was with at the time, I'm pretty sure I could tell that they were very not genuine people. They were fake. And I could just tell the way they talk with people and the way they deal with people, that it's coming from a place of like lack, coming from a place of like validation, like approval seeking. And when you have those people on both ends, right, customers and people who are working right in these places, they encounter someone like you walking in there, genuine, you know, they just kind of, and especially if you have the outside factors, like if you're conventionally attractive, or maybe you're well off, you have a very comfortable lifestyle, or maybe you're fit, you know, Maybe you look good, right? Maybe you have a nice voice or something. All this stuff is gonna catch them off guard, and they're gonna start panicking. They panic when you come around. They panic that somebody like you is in front of them, and it catches them off guard because they weren't ready. They weren't ready. See what I'm saying here? People are so fake. They're not ready to be real. They see you come in, they're like, "Oh wait, I wasn't prepared for this. This was a pop quiz. Oh wait, this was a test that we didn't know about. I didn't study for this test. I didn't study for this pop quiz, or I don't know the answers to this pop quiz, and now it's right here in front of me. Wow, what am I gonna do?" This is what people do in their head. It's playing in their head, of course, right? You show up and they're like, "What am I gonna do? I wasn't ready for this. I didn't study for this. I don't know how to deal with this person standing in front of me who, this weirdo, or, they think that you're weird, but the reality is you're just too real for them. And real is the new weird, I guess, And so they weren't ready. They're not ready. And so you're going to see the direct outcome of that, the outcomes of that. Of you not being ready, of them not being ready for you. It's not your fault. It's not your fault. I just got to put that out there. It's not your fault. But that's why they panic. And when they panic, they shut down. That's why they kind of stand there and stare at you. So, there's a little education on why people kind of shut down and panic on you when you're just trying to go about your day. And that's the message, I guess. That's the message, apparently, right? You got to keep being genuine, keep being real, keep being who you are, but just be aware that none of this is your fault. This is not your fault. It's not like you're not trying to put a wrench in anyone's day or like mess up their equilibrium by walking in the room. No, you have to do what you have to do. It's not on your shoulders here. That's my whole point. And so and that leads into my previous video I just made a while ago about how they're going to start getting jealous of you, because after that initial shock phase passes, right? They're going to get shocked. They're not going to be ready. You walk in, they're shocked. Then they're going to start playing games and try to break your spirit. See, that's what they do. They're going to try and break your spirit. And they realize they can't break your spirit. So then they're going to either do two things, like I've talked about before. They're going to quit, or they're going to up the ante, right? Or they're just going to start projecting, right? Like to have conversations with people behind you or in front of you, right? About how like if you have a stain on your shirt, right? They're going to start talking about having stains on shirts. I'm serious here. This is real, guys. If you have acne on your face or something, they're going to start talking about how I have this acne I can't get rid of, da 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 da, and you're like, wait a minute, I have acne. Or if you pull up in a old car, they're going to start talking about how, old cars are this. I heard that old cars are that, da 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 da. And then my friend was in the old car, and what, and it's all that it's all that we can afford. They're going to start like projecting on you, and you're like, wait a minute, I have an old car, or what else? You're with somebody. Let's say that I'm not in a relationship, I don't have a girlfriend, but let's say that you walk in somewhere and you have a girlfriend, or you walk in somewhere and you have a boyfriend, right? Or you have a spouse with you. They're going to start talking about their boyfriend or girlfriend in front of you. They're going to start talking about their spouse, about how they've had all these problems, and oh, my girlfriend doesn't like it when I do that. Oh, my boyfriend does this. My boyfriend looks like, my boyfriend's tall. My girlfriend this, that. Yeah, and my girl's Hispanic, and you're like, wait a minute. My girl's Hispanic. Huh. Guys, this is real. Like, people will actually do this. It's called projection. They're trying to make you be like, wait a minute. What? And then what they want you to do is they want you to look over and like give them attention. They want 5 seconds of your attention because they couldn't break your spirit, they couldn't get you angry, they couldn't upset you. So now what they're going to do is try projection. And what are they going to project on? Well, they need information to project on you for. So what are they going to do? What they do is what are they going to do? What they're going to do is they're going to look around at you. They're going to look at you, what you're wearing, what you look like, how tall you are, what you drive, what phone you have, what you ordered, anything. If you have a pimple, if you have paint on your shirt, if you have a rip in your jeans, if you walk funny, if you talk funny, if you don't sit up straight, if you you have a certain type of device or a certain type of what's the word, like a power charger or whatever, they don't care. They'll find anything they can to project on you for, right? They look at everything, okay? They look at everything. And I know it's crazy, guys, and this video is really long, I know, but the thing is that they look at everything,